This video is going to go over the zero exponent law and powers of 10. So the zero exponent law says a power with an integer base or any number other than 0 and an exponent of 0 is equal to 1. So any number that has an exponent of 0 is actually going to equal 1. Okay, so if you want a proof of this law or a further explanation of how this works, you can ask me. I will give it to you, but for now we're just gonna go over this in this video. So 2 exponent 0 actually equals 1. Okay, 13 to the exponent 0 also equals 1. And negative 5 to the exponent 0 equals 1. So more examples. 4 exponent 0 equals 1. This part B on here is a little bit tricky because this negative sign is not part of the base. So we're going to do this first, and then that negative sign is just going to get put on it. So 4 exponent 0 is 1, but this negative sign has to go on it. So that equals negative 1. Now C, the negative 4 is all in brackets, so that 0 gets applied to all of it. So that equals a positive 1. Okay, this will work for any more difficult equations with variables or numbers. If you had something like this, and it is all to the exponent 0, it doesn't matter what's inside of those brackets, that 0 is applied to everything inside, and that would equal 1. Looking at powers of 10 now. So if you have 1 billion, okay, that has a 1 with 9 zeros, so your power is going to be 10 to the exponent 9. So your exponent number is actually how many zeros are going to be on your number, including the number 1, because 10 to the exponent 0 equals 1. So there's no zeros on that. So keep that in mind as we go on. What we're going to do is write numbers using powers of 10. So we're going to split these numbers up actually into expanded form. Okay, so break it up into its place values to start with. So our number is 456,782. So we're going to split in that 4 is 400,000. Okay, then 50,000, 6,000. 700, 80, and 2. Okay, so if you added all of those up, you would get this number. So now we're going to split it up. So this would be 4 multiplied by 100,000. This would be 5 multiplied by 10,000. This would be 6 times 1,000. 7 times 100, 8 times 10, and this is 2 times 1, we could say. Okay, now instead of 100,000, 10,000, we're going to write those as powers of 10. So this would be 4 times 10 to the exponent. There's 5 zeros, so 5. This would be 5 times 10 to the exponent 4. This would be 6 times 10 to the exponent 3. This would be 7 times 10 to the exponent 2. This would be 8 times 10 to the exponent 1. And this would be 2 times 10 to the exponent 0. Okay, and all we're going to do is put these in brackets and say we're going to add these up. So that is how you write numbers using powers of 10. Split them into expanded form, change them into multiplication questions with 100,000 in the place values, and then put them in powers of 10. So let's look at one more example here. 79,451, we don't have any 100,000s. 70,000. 9,451. So this would be 7 times 10,000, 9 times 1,000, 4 times 100, 5 times 10, and 1 times 1. Okay, now 10,000 is 10 to the exponent 4, so this would be 7 times 10 to the exponent 4, plus 9 times 10 to the exponent 3, plus 4 times 10 squared, plus 5 times 10 to the exponent 1, plus 1 times 10 to the exponent 0. Okay, this is often used in the science using scientific notation. So we could ask something like, how many miles and kilometers are in a light year? A light year is how far light would travel in a year. So if it was 6 trillion miles, okay, we would get how many zeros here? So that's 1,000, million, billion, trillion. So you have 3, 6, 9, 12 zeros. So this becomes 6 times 10 to the exponent 12 miles. Okay, knowing that, we could say it's 10 times 10 to the exponent 12 kilometers. Or if we change this 10 to a 1, it would be 1 times 10 to the 13 kilometers. Another one, weight of the earth in kilograms, 6 with 24 zeros behind it, so it becomes 6 times 10 to the exponent 24 kilograms. We can also use this for using decimals. So if our population is about 7.25 billion, okay, we can write 7.25 times 10 to the exponent 9. So they're not all going to be zeros behind this, but what this means is you're going to move the decimal point 9 places over. So it ends up being 7,250,000,000 people. Okay, so that is an example of scientific notation using powers of 10.